Today on Trisha.
Where does this baby look like me? Where does this baby look like me?
You're the one that left Arizona and went halfway across the country as soon as you got
Hey.
She removed his name from the birth certificate.
I called the hospital and I went up there and changed it.
But Lissandra still insists this man is her baby's father.
You took my name off that baby.
Baby, you gonna sit here and tell me it's not?
Zach's sister says Lissandra's just trying to trap him.
Why would you go change the name? Why would you go take Because your brother is denying my child.
Is this doubting daddy being brainwashed by his big sister?
Did you have any doubts about this baby when she was pregnant?
No, I didn't.
Are you the reason why Zach is denying this baby?
Yes, I am.
He left her when she got pregnant.
I was 9 weeks pregnant when Thomas left.
Today, he could be meeting his 5-year-old son for the very first time.
She refuses to put me on the birth certificate. And you didn't want nothing to do with me until you needed child support.
Act like you wanted to sit up. I know feelings are running high, but this little boy is in the middle of it.
Is his current girlfriend keeping him away?
That's not your son. You don't need to have nothing to do with it. Don't pay child support.
The answers are in the envelopes. This is what you wanted. This is what you are here for. Will they leave here with more questions than answers? Well, it is time to find out. Sitting on stage is 22-year-old Lissandra. Now, she's here today to prove to her former best friend, Zach, and his sister, Sequoia, that Zach is indeed the father of her 1-month-old daughter, Trinell. Now, Zach claims he was on board with being a father until Lissandra removed his name from the birth certificate and changed the baby's name. Now, yeah, we'll get to the bottom of that a little later, but first, let's listen to what Sequoia has to say about this situation.
I'm here to support my baby brother, Zach. I don't believe he is the father of Lissandra's 1-month-old baby, Trinell. That baby looks nothing like Zach. She looks like Lissandra's other kids. My brother has high cheekbones, lighter skin, and good hair. Lissandra is trying to trap my brother into being a father. She knows he is a great catch. He is too good for her. When Zach named the baby after him, she changed the name to something else. Sounds suspicious to me. If Zach is the father of her baby, I want a relationship with my niece, but not with her mother.
So, Lissandra, where do you think this whole idea that Zach's got about not being the baby's father, where do you think that's come from?
From his sister Sequoia. I mean, we never really been cool in the first place, you know what I'm saying? But for her to step in my relationship and say that he's not the father is, you know what I'm saying? I know who the father of my child is. So what she got to say really don't even matter. She wasn't in the room when we was doing what we was doing.
Okay. Let's talk about you and Zach. What kind of relationship did you have?
We was like close friends. We were close friends for 2 years. We did everything together, Trisha. I told him about personal things. When I was in a relationship with somebody else, he knew everything about everything. And for him to go and do this, it
so hang on,
hurts.
he started as a good friend?
A best friend. We became best friends. We did everything together.
But this is a best friend with privileges kind of thing.
Not at first. At first, we were really just best friends.
Yeah.
Just period, best friends. Did everything, talked about it, whatever. We didn't actually get together until a year ago.
Oh, okay. So did you plan the baby?
Yes, we were together. We were together.
You
we
talked
were close.
about having
we talked
a baby?
about it. He wanted a baby. He wanted his first baby. I gave him his first baby, and this is the consequence.
So, now, I'm confused because was he there during the pregnancy?
He was there the whole pregnancy. Oh, Lissandra, I'm so in love with you. I'm so happy you having my first baby.
Was he
I'm
at the
so
hospital
happy.
when you had the
At
baby?
the hospital and everything, named him. I let him name her. And the reason the name got changed is because he denied my baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you on her birth certificate, and she don't need your name if you're gonna deny her.
Wow. Now, so did you say Zach is on the birth certificate?
No, I took him off the birth certificate.
Can you do that? Can you do that?
Let me tell you. I called the hospital, and she said she hadn't sent the paper to the vital statistics, so I went up there and changed it. And all the paperwork. Wow.
Now, so I'm interested. When did Zach start saying that the baby wasn't his? If he was there when the baby was born, when did this start?
A week after my baby was born.
Did he?
His sister Sequoia came to the hospital, and ever since that moment, it's been different.
So you think she had a word in his ear, and that changed
I think
everything?
she had a word? Sequoia and his whole, the whole family, always got something to say about me. I'm not worried about them.
And let me ask you outright: is he the father of your baby?
He is the father of my baby. I'm not here. He's here to prove to me that he's not the father. I'm not here to prove nothing, because I already know.
So, are you and Zach in a relationship at the moment?
No.
So he left you?
I left him.
Oh, you left him? Okay. Well, as you know, Sequoia doesn't believe that her brother Zach is the father of Lissandra's baby, so it's time we bring her out. Sequoia, come on out. Hang on. Hi. Sequoia, why don't you think this baby is your brother's?
Because the baby.
You don't even gotta ask her a question.
What you
mean? What would that have to do with anything? I am her biological mother.
Just
so the baby, of course, gonna look like me.
Just like her. My brother looks just like me. None of the features look like my brother.
Okay,
How you gonna say that?
Okay, one at a time. We got the picture up here of your brother Zach and the baby.
Nothing. No eyes, the nose, the ears,
Like I
nothing.
said, my daughter looks like me. My daughter looks like me. I know who my baby daddy is. Thank you.
Okay. Have a seat. Are you the reason why Zach is denying this baby?
Yes, I am. That's my brother.
you
I'm his
said.
big sister, and I'm his keeper.
So your brother needs to grow up and be a man and take care of his baby.
Zach, he's entitled to. I'm his sister, so he's.
Okay, I really want to hear what you've got to say, Sequoia. Now, I understand that one of the reasons you think that this isn't his baby, you say he doesn't look anything like you. One of the things you say is that Zach has, inverted commas, good hair.
He does.
My baby got good hair.
What do you mean?
Well, I'm not just saying just the hair, just the features alone. Her kids look like her and her
know
other.
Because while your brother is
anything
listening to y'all, he needs to grow up and be a man and take care of his child.
Now, Sequoia, how do you feel about the baby's name being changed?
The reason why she quote unquote changed the name, like that's immature. Regardless to how I feel about if that's my brother's baby or whatever, he's entitled to his own, beliefs or whatever. So
you think it's suspicious she changed the name?
I think it's very suspicious. Why would you change the name if that's you in a relationship with this man and y'all was best friends or whatever? Why would you go change the name? Why would you go take
because your brother is denying my child.
Okay,
my
so that's
child. I didn't do that. It don't even matter. Why would you do that?
You said that you and Sequoia were never cool in the first place. Sequoia, what
She don't mean nothing to me. I'm with her brother.
I'm interested in what are your issues with Lissandra?
I don't know her, so really it's not nothing.
So do you think...
I have my own crowd and she's not a part of it,
Let me ask you. Hang on, let me ask you.
How many kids do you got?
Enough.
You need to be here.
Hang on. How many children do you have?
I have 5 children.
5 children.
Yep. And I know who the dad of all my kids is.
Oh, and trust and believe me, honey, I do too.
Okay, we'll see when the test comes back.
I don't need to prove nothing to you or your family.
Okay, let me ask you, Sequoia, if the DNA test comes back and says your brother is the father of this child, then what? Are you going to apologize?
I might.
You might. I don't even want an apology from her. I don't need an apology from her. I'm not here for you. I'm here to prove to your brother that he is my baby's father.
So, hang on. Let me ask you this. In the piece of videotape we saw before, you said you thought your brother was a good catch for Lissandra. Do you think she's trying to trap him or something?
Yes, I do. I
Why?
think my brother, he's young. He has no kids. He has a lot going for himself.
What do I need to trap your brother for? What does he have?
She already
and just to let you know, your brother came into this knowing I had 3 kids. Your brother came into this knowing what the hell I was about. He was my best friend. So he wanted it. He wanted it.
Like, come on.
Y'all just mad because he was stuck on stupid.
So you're saying you may apologize if the baby is your brother's. What if he's not then?
This she gonna look
He
good.
is. Ain't no he's not Trisha. Ain't no he's not Trisha. He is the father.
The baby ain't his, and she gonna be looking dumb. Like I said, I already know.
All right, let's take a break. take a break. Next, find out why Zach says his doubts have nothing to do with his sister Sequoia and everything to do with Lissandra. And we will also reveal the DNA results, so stay tuned. Up next.
You took my name off that.
And later.
Thomas abandoned me when I first found out I was pregnant, and he has never seen his son in person.
He could be meeting his 5-year-old son for the very first time.
And you didn't want nothing to do with me until you needed child support.
Facing the DNA test.
This is what you are here for.
Today on Trisha.
We're back with Lissandra, who's here today to prove to her former best friend Zach and his doubtful sister here, Sequoia, that Zach is the father of her 1-month-old daughter, Trinell. Now, Sequoia claims she sees no resemblance whatsoever between her brother and this precious baby, and she's convinced of one thing only, that Lissandra is out to trap her brother. So, before we meet Zach, let's listen to how he describes this painful ordeal.
Lasandra and I have been best friends for years. Eventually, our friendship turned into something more, and we fell in love. When I found out Lasandra was having my baby, I was so happy. I was so excited to be a father for the first time in my life. I love Lasandra so much, I accepted and acted as a father figure to our 3 other children. When Lasandra's baby Trinell was born, I knew I had been betrayed, and I was not the father of that baby. My sister Sequoia said she took one look at Lasandra's baby, and she knew it was not mine. I will be heartbroken if Trinell is not my daughter.
Zach, come on out. Did you have any doubts about this baby when she was pregnant?
No, I didn't. Because she was my best friend and I trusted her.
Okay,
So when did your doubts come?
Yes,
When
exactly.
your sister said the baby didn't look like you?
Baby, and it didn't look like
You
me.
watch the shows, don't you?
You
I
had
didn't see
that
the white
baby,
baby
it
and
don't
the
look
black baby.
we got a lot in our, we got a lot.
Zach, are you telling me it took you a week to work out this baby wasn't yours?
I knew before then.
What do you mean you knew before
I
then?
knew when she had the baby. That baby's not
Okay, so
mine.
why was you
That
at the
baby's not
hospital
mine.
saying, oh, I want the baby to have my name, this, that, and other? When the baby came out, you know it wasn't yours. You should have said, I don't want nothing to do with this, and moved on.
Well, she gave me a precious gift. She gave me that gift.
How was it a gift and you denying it?
She gave me that
How was it
gift.
a gift and you denying my baby?
You
denying my baby.
You took my name off that baby.
Baby, you gonna sit here and tell me it's not?
How's mine in my name? It ain't got my name.
We've been best
She ain't got
friends
my
for
name.
years.
If she ain't got my name, how's my baby? She ain't got my name.
Hang on.
Right.
All right. Okay,
right.
can
That's not my baby.
Just a minute.
My baby had my name.
Hang on, just a minute. If you thought that baby wasn't yours from the get-go, why put your name to the baby in the first place?
Because she told me. No, I didn't think from the get-go.
Why
I thought.
Hang on, let's hear.
No, I didn't think it from the get-go.
Right.
As soon as I seen that baby, I didn't see none of my features.
Yes,
That's
so-
the get-go.
Hang on,
I didn't
just
see
a
none
minute.
of my features.
That's the get-go.
And she let me name the baby, and I accepted that. But
You
she gave
said
me that gift, I accepted that
Now,
gift.
I'm confused here. So she presents you with a baby. You look at this baby and you think, that's not my baby. However, I'll give the baby that's not mine my name. Really?
Don't make sense.
Really?
Really?
Sign the birth certificate and everything.
Okay, so you said also in the tape that you took, and you said, hang on, Lissandra said earlier that you took on her other children. They call you daddy.
Right.
So, do you really think that she was cheating on you through the relationship? Really? Seriously?
I trust her.
Wait,
I
no,
trust
that's
her.
not what I asked you.
I trust is the key.
No, that's not what
to
I asked
relationship.
you. When do you think she cheated on you?
I don't know.
Do you really think she did cheat on you?
I don't.
Are you
No,
sure
but
this isn't just your sister? Hey, why I'm asking this? Why I'm asking this, Zach? Because usually I get guys up here who are denying their children, saying, this is why I deny this child, because on this date she was hanging with this guy, I saw her with that guy, I found these photos, I found these incriminating text messages, I found all of this stuff. You don't know, just a minute, you don't have any other reason to doubt this child, it sounds to me, until your sister came on the scene and started...
No, this is not my whole family. My whole family, yeah, they believe we look alike.
What are you gonna
We
do?
all look
You
alike.
had a mind of your
We all
own. You're a
look alike.
grown-ass man.
Right,
You're
listen,
a grown-ass man. You're a grown-ass man.
I'm a grown-ass man. I'm taking care of kids and mom. That's a grown-ass man. That's a grown-ass man. Not doing my...
Whoa. Zach, can we stop the shouting and start being really real? Yeah. Are you hurt? Were you proud that you were going to be a daddy? Am I right?
Yeah, I was happy. I was on top of the world. This was everything I wanted. My first child.
All right.
Yes.
But you two were best friends, so you confided in each other. Am I right? Beforehand.
Right.
So, are you telling me the Lissandra you got to know after all of that time had an opportunity, had a reason, the relationship was off the rails, something was going wrong, she had a reason to go out and cheat on you? She left you?
No, she didn't have no reason, no.
She didn't?
No.
And you really think the Lissandra you got to know would do that?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
You don't?
So why are you denying my child?
Good.
No, that baby don't look like me. Do it? That baby don't look like me.
That's the only thing you're going off of?
What resemblance do you see?
That's the only thing you're going off of?
Where does this baby look like me? Where does this baby look like me? Where? You see them? I don't see nothing.
Zach,
I don't
come
see
here.
nothing. That
Come
baby
here.
don't look like
Zach,
me.
If the DNA test proves that baby is yours, then what?
I'll be the father figure in that baby life.
Well,
I'll
what
take care
about
of that
your
baby.
relationship then? What about, because if that, I don't know what the DNA test result says, but if the DNA test results come back and says you're the dad, that also means that you have created all of this hassle, all of this shouting.
I would have been wrong. I would have been wrong.
So are you telling me the minute somebody else said that child doesn't look like you,
No.
all the feelings
No, not
you had and
else. I had my own beliefs.
do you still care for her? Be honest.
I care for her. I care for her.
You still do?
Yes.
All right. So if the baby turns out to be his, and again, I don't know what the test results say, that's going to be difficult because you two are going to be so wrapped up in being hurt that does it mean that child won't get to have two parents in there?
No, you know what? I'm not that type. You know what? If he is the father, and when it come back, he can be in his daughter's life however much he want to be.
Well, okay. Let's find out. We've heard all three sides, but it's time to find out once and for all if Zach is Trinell's father. So, you're saying no?
He's not the father.
Who wants to
Please read the results.
I'll open it.
You're right. Now, I don't know what it says, so I'm going to come have a look over your shoulder. But, Sequoia, you're saying you know. It's going to say you're not. Coming up. Up next.
Thomas abandoned me when I first found out I was pregnant, and he has never seen his son in person.
He could be meeting his 5-year-old son for the very first time.
And you didn't want nothing to do with me until you needed child support.
Facing the DNA test.
This is what you are here for.
Today on Trisha.
Welcome, Tamara. Now, she's furious that her ex-boyfriend, Thomas, is denying her 5-year-old son, Atreyu. And she suspects his current girlfriend, Crystal, is filling his head with poisonous lies and doubts, all to get out of paying child support. But there's a twist. Thomas says Tamara flat out refuses to put his name on the birth certificate, and it's reason enough for him to suspect Atreyu is another man's child. So before we go any further, let's listen to Tamara's side of this story.
My ex-boyfriend Thomas is the father of my 5-year-old son, Atreyu, and he knows it. I am 100% sure that Thomas is the father of my son because I was with no one else. Thomas abandoned me when I first found out I was pregnant, and he has never seen his son in person. I've tried to help Thomas step up to the plate and be a responsible parent, but he insists on being a deadbeat dad. I truly believe that Crystal, Thomas's current girlfriend, is the problem. She's the one that's making him believe that he is not the father. My boyfriend James has been more of a father figure to my son than Thomas. He is the only father figure that Atreyu knows. James helped me through my entire pregnancy. He even cut my son's umbilical cord when he was born. Thomas needs to accept his responsibility and be a father to our son. Otherwise, I'm gonna let a real man be his daddy.
There you go. boyfriend James is here in our audience. He's been raising Atreyu since birth, and as you can imagine, he's some strong opinions about the situations. But first, Tamara, you believe he denies his son. Why? Because of his new partner?
I've never had an issue with him at all, denying him. He didn't start denying Atreyu until about 3 or 4 months ago.
Just out of the blue?
Just out of the blue. Because I'm sick of him. He hadn't paid child support since August of last year.
Right.
I mean, he paid maybe, okay, he has paid child support, but he's only paid probably about 6 or 7 months worth.
So let's go right back to the beginning. So what kind of relationship did you two have?
When me and him first got together, it was wonderful.
Right.
I mean, he would listen to me. He was a good talker.
Yeah.
I mean, I really cared for this guy. You know.
So what happened
when
you were pregnant then?
Okay, we lived in a little small town. The situation that we were in was not good.
Right.
Okay. My stepdad was a general foreman for a construction company in Arizona. He traveled over the U.S.
Okay.
He gave Thomas a job making $22 an hour, plus $50 a day per diem.
Right.
Okay, moved us to Arizona. When I got to Arizona, about a week after that, I found out I was pregnant.
So was he happy?
He was happy at first. We went and we told my mom and stepdad. You know, of course, they were shocked. I was 17 at the time.
Let's come back to, now when did you and James get together then?
Me and James I met James through Thomas.
Oh!
Yes, I did. James was actually working with Thomas.
So was James on the scene when you got pregnant?
No, I wasn't. I was pregnant before I even met James. James heard Atreyu's heartbeat on Thomas's phone, on his cell phone. Yes, he did. He was there at my first doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
Thomas went with me and recorded Atreyu's heartbeat.
But you're saying ever since you got together with James, and James is here, James has been there, he was at the birth.
I was 9 weeks pregnant when Thomas left. All 3 of us, me, James, and Thomas, all 3 went out together 3 different times. All 3 of us went together and hung out. Well, the first time we went out, we went to the bowling alley. That was the first time all 3 of us went out.
Can I come back to Atreyu? So, has Thomas ever been in his life?
No, he's never seen him. He's
never seen him?
Never seen him. Never seen him.
How old is he?
He's 5 years old. He's 5. He's never set eyes on him, never been in the same room.
Have you offered him?
Oh, yeah, I've offered. I even told him, okay, because this last year when he did work, he told me that he wasn't going to file his income tax. I told him if he filed his income tax return, whatever half the money that I got, I would send him money to come see his son. And
what did he say?
Nothing.
Now, as you know, Tamara's boyfriend James is here in our audience and says he's been a father figure to Atreyu. James, so what's your relationship with Atreyu?
Atreyu is my son, and I love him. I've been there for him ever since that abandoned her. I took care of her. I listened. I felt him kick in her stomach. I've been there from day one, and I will be there till the end.
What makes you so angry about Thomas then?
Because he's a
But why? Why?
Because he doesn't take care of his responsibility. He just keeps hopping around from girl to girl, using women, and being a player.
But have you actually offered for him to get together?
I told him, I asked him to come see his son. I told him I would never stand in his way, that he was more than welcome in my home.
You've told him that?
To come and see his boy.
So what did he say to that?
Nothing.
So, okay, now, thank you very much. Now, Tamara, Thomas believes you cheated on him.
What gets me?
That'll be a no then. That'll be a no. So there's no way James could be the father? No? What
It's hysterical. It's hysterical to me. His stupidity amazes me. Really, really it does, because I mean...
So let me get this right, as far as, because the little boy is in the middle of this, it's not you keeping, because so many times we hear women are keeping the father of the child away.
I have begged him. I call him probably every other week, every 3 weeks or so, and begging him, when are you going to come see your son? When are you going to start paying child support? When are you going to, you know?
But so why is he now denying your little boy then? Why?
I have no idea.
Whose name's on the birth certificate?
It's just mine. Just mine.
Why?
Why? Because he was not there.
But you've always told... What does Atreyu believe?
Atreyu knows who Thomas is. He knows his real daddy. If you ask him who his real daddy is, he'll tell you Thomas. But he knows that James is his dad.
Okay.
He calls James daddy.
So
that was a big thing. That was a big thing about Thomas. He said, I'm not coming to see my son until he knows who he is, okay? And then I go and I start, he's only 5 years old. How are you going to explain to a 5-year-old boy who his daddy is?
Someone who's never seen.
They don't, mentally, yeah, he's never seen him. He can't make that connection.
If the DNA test comes back and confirms what you're saying, that Thomas is his dad, will anything change?
I hope to God he gets his head out of his ass and you know, really, I hope to God. What gets me is that he's never seen him, and it takes something like this for him. This is the first time on this show that he's going to set eyes on his son.
Wow.
You know, and that's what gets me,
well,
is that it takes something like this.
Let's find out why. Let's find out why all of this has been going on, yeah? Yeah.
I want to know why.
All right, it's time that we meet Thomas and his partner, Crystal. So Thomas and Crystal, come on out. Yeah, stay there. Up next, do you really have doubts that Atreyu's your son?
Yeah, she refuses to put me on the birth certificate. And you didn't want nothing to do with me until you needed child support.
One day, acting like you wanted to
Sit down. I know feelings are running high, but this little boy is in the middle of it.
And later, is this doubting daddy being brainwashed by his big sister?
You are the father. Get off my stage.
Facing the DNA test.
This is what you are here for.
Today on Trisha.
My ex-boyfriend Thomas is the father of my 5-year-old son, Atreyu, and he knows it. Thomas abandoned me when I first found out I was pregnant, and he has never seen his son in person. I truly believe that Crystal, Thomas's current girlfriend, is the problem. She's the one that's making him believe that he is not the father.
Has Thomas ever been in his life?
No, he's never seen him.
Thomas believes you cheated on him. That'll be a no then. That'll be a no.
This is the first time on this show that he's going to set eyes on his son.
It's time that we meet Thomas and his partner, Crystal. So Thomas and Crystal, come on out. Yeah, you stay there. Hang on. Thomas, do you really have doubts that Atreyu's your son?
Yeah, she refuses to put me on the birth certificate. I told her a year and a half ago, put me on the birth certificate.
Watch your language, watch your mouth. Yeah.
Put me on the birth certificate and I'll put an end to everything. I'll stop.
Can I ask you why you haven't seen you've never actually set eyes on...
She throws up a roadblock. I tried plenty of times. When she contacted me...
Just a minute, wait, let me hear,
When she contacted me, ain't nobody talking to you. When she contacted me, I said, we need to save the money so I can go see Atreyu.
Okay.
Every time I come up with a way for me to fly out, oh, that ain't good enough.
Let me ask you a question.
Every time I tried to find a way for her and Atreyu to come out to Oregon, take Atreyu and teach him how to snowboard.
Hang on, just a minute.
Why do I have to...
You had a chance to come see your son, you wouldn't see him.
Why do I have to go?
You're the one that left Arizona and went halfway across the country as soon as you got
Hey.
2 years. Yeah, 2 years, and you didn't want nothing to do with me until you needed child support.
One day, acting like you wanted to...
Sit down.
Yeah, when you finally needed...
Now.
Finally needed money for everything. I've given your son more than you'll ever give him.
Yeah, exactly. You've given her more than she has.
We need to hear everybody's side. I know feelings are running high, but this little boy is in the middle of it, okay? Just a minute. Just a minute. He deserves to actually talk.
He deserves a relationship with his son, too, and he needs to realize that.
Do you not want to hear what he's got to say? I would like to hear what he says. I think the audience would like to hear it. Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. Okay, so... Thomas, why did you two split up in the beginning?
Because Tamara would not get out from underneath her mother's thumb.
Now, hang on, just a minute. I was 17. Just a minute.
Every time we tried to do something, Tamara had to have the approval of her mother. She lived with me.
Hang on, she was 17.
She did not live in her mother's home.
So, you two split up. Why did you not get to see your son in the early days?
Me and Tamara split up. We were living in Arizona. I had absolutely no family.
Right.
She had her mom and dad there. She had all the support that she needed.
No, that's not what I asked. Why didn't you get to see your little boy?
Because I left.
Just a minute.
Because I left.
What? You knew she was pregnant when you left. Now, so you have no doubts that that little boy is yours. Am I right?
I believe that If he's not mine, it's because of a guy back in Missouri, not because of James.
Oh, you think that she was cheating on some...
See,
Yeah,
now he's changing his story.
No.
Now he's changing his story.
You can ask everybody. I not once ever told them that I thought you cheated on me with James.
So, Crystal...
I've actually defended you against cheating on me with James.
Just a minute. That's what I wanted to hear from you. That right there.
Okay.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah, I just heard that.
You heard that.
Thank you so much. Crystal...
There you go.
One of the things that Tamara seemed to think was that these doubts about him being Atreyu's dad came from you.
We've been together for a year. Why all of a sudden now would I be telling him that's not your kid? When we first met, he showed me a picture of him and was like, this is my son. I was like, wow, he looks just like you. So why all of a sudden, almost into our second year of being together, would I start telling him, that's not your son. You don't need to have nothing to do with him. Don't pay child support.
So you showed Crystal a picture of Atreyu and said, that's my son. If you had doubts, why would you do that?
Because at that point in time, I was still trying to put everything together. And how could I tell somebody I'm showing you a picture of a child that may be my son?
So why did you suddenly have these doubts after all these years? You know, if you knew what you're saying you knew...
He don't want to pay child support. He don't want to pay.
If I don't want to pay child support, you can contact our caseworker.
Hang on, just a minute. This is what it's all about.
No, child support does not matter to me.
Well,
your personal
every time I call you,
that little boy
every time I call, I end up talking to you for 45 minutes, and I don't even get to talk to Atreyu.
Because you don't ask to talk to Atreyu.
I heard him call and said, can I talk to my
ask you a question? Why
sitting right there next to him?
Sweetheart, sit down. That's just a minute. Crystal.
That's between me and him and that little boy right there. Me and him and that boy.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. Calm down, because if they stay together as a couple and that little boy turns out to be his son, as you say he is, then she will probably figure in his life in some shape or form.
Oh, no, she will not let that happen. She said that I'm not allowed to be around her son.
True?
If he comes down there to see his son, I am not allowed to come because she does not want her son having anything to do with me.
Okay, so this is James's DNA test, just to put all the arguments...
I pray to God I'm his father.
You'd
I
like
wish
to
I
be
was
that.
his father.
Well, just a minute. Hang on, just a minute. Just a damn minute, okay? Sperm makes a child. It takes a lot more to make a daddy. So, let's find out.
And I'm a good daddy.
Well,
That's what...
okay, all right.
I never said he wasn't about...
Shall we open this to find out?
Yes, ma'am.
Who wants to open that? I'll open it. James. Coming up, he could be meeting his 5-year-old son for the very first time. This is what you wanted. This is what you are here for. Mummy needs to keep this shut and just be supporting for the little boy. You're a good mum, okay? And later, is this doubting daddy being brainwashed by his big sister? Oh! DNA test. This is what you are here for. Today on Trisha.
My ex-boyfriend Thomas is the father of my 5-year-old son, Atreyu, and he knows it. Thomas abandoned me when I first found out I was pregnant, and he has never seen his son in person. I truly believe that Crystal, Thomas's current girlfriend, is the problem. She's the one that's making him believe that he is not the father.
Has Thomas ever been in his life?
No, he's never seen him.
Thomas believes you cheated on him. That'll be a no then. That'll be a no.
This is the first time on this show that he's going to set eyes on his son.
Thomas, do you really have doubts that Atreyu's your son?
Yeah, she
Why?
refuses to put me on the birth certificate.
You showed Crystal a picture of Atreyu and said, that's my son.
How could I tell somebody I'm showing you a picture of a child that may be my son?
So, this is James's DNA test, just to put all the arguments...
I pray to God I'm his father.
Who wants to open that? I'll open it. Huh. James, you are not Atreus' biological father.
I know that.
Okay, you knew that. Here's the one whole thing, Thomas, this is what you wanted. This is what you are here for. So, you want to open that? I don't know what it says.
I am the father. He is my son. Now I have my proof. So now I don't need her to put myself on his birth certificate.
I asked the producer, okay, after this test came back, I asked him if you and Atreyu by yourselves could go together and be in the same room.
No,
so you could spend time with
I'm going to
him.
back up. I'm going to back up on that. And I'm going to speak from Atreyu's point of view. He's your little boy, but you are still a stranger. So I would not put you in the room with that little boy on their own. I would like for our counselor to be there, and Mummy needs to be there, and Mummy needs to keep this shut and just be supporting for the little boy. Because you're a good mummy, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
You do not badmouth the people who've been supporting him, whatever you think of these two, because that's what he'll remember you for. Up next, is this doubting daddy being brainwashed by his big sister?
You are the father. Get off my stage.
Facing the DNA test.
This is what you are here for.
Today on Trisha.
I'm here to support my baby brother, Zach. I don't believe he is the father of Lissandra's 1-month-old baby, Trinell. Lissandra is trying to trap my brother into being a father.
I know who the father of my child is. She wasn't in the room when we was doing what we was doing.
We got the picture up here.
Nothing. No eyes, the nose, the ears,
Like I said, my daughter looks like me. Your brother needs to grow up and be a man and take care of his baby.
When Lissandra's baby Trinell was born, I knew I had been betrayed, and I was not the father of that baby. You took my name off that baby.
Baby, you gonna sit here and tell me it's not?
Where does this baby look like me? Where does this baby look like me?
Let's find out. We've heard all three sides, but it's time to find out once and for all if Zach is Trinell's father. So, you're saying no?
He's not the father.
Who wants to
Please
vote?
read the result.
I'll open it.
You're right. Now, I don't know what it says, so I'm going to
wanna
come have a
open
look
it.
over your shoulder. But Sequoia, you're saying you know. It's going to say you're not.
Oh,
you are not the
Instead of cheering and what have you, let's have an explanation. What happened? Was there somebody else on the scene, or what? Were you I'm guessing Zach was such a good friend, you really hoped that he was the dad. But I'm guessing probably there was a question mark for a while, was there, sweetheart? Was it an overlap or something? Because that sometimes happens. You finish one relationship and you think you got pregnant by Zach, but maybe you didn't. Is that it?
I guess that's what happened.
Guess what happened? You guessed that's what happened.
Hang on, just a minute. You cared for her. You were a friend beforehand. So you were with another guy, because you did say before you were in another relationship.
Thank God for the blessing.
Hang on, just a minute.
Thank God for the blessing.
Can I just point back? All right, so you've been hurt, and I hear that, and you sound like you've got a loving family behind you. So, you know, are you just going to drop out of the scene altogether? Are you going to become Uncle Zach? So they've got a male figure in their lives?
I'm out of there.
Okay, so you're back to being a single mom, but don't kick her when she's down.
Oh,
okay?
fair exchange ain't
I don't
robbery
mind
is
being a
what they
single
told
mom. I
me.
ain't gonna get taken care of regardless, so I don't really care.
Zach, if you don't want to be in this position again, and maybe Big Sister can help with this, make sure if he fools around, he does it safely.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
Okay. You be strong, and you don't be smug.
Facing the DNA test.
This is what you are here for.
Today on Trisha.
I want to thank you for watching us today, and join me again real soon with my great studio audience. Come and join us, in fact.